We have a roll call, please. Here.
Here.
Yes.
Here.
Thank you. This meeting is to request action by the City Commission on proposed resolution 14-08, the public hearing to adopt the final assessment resolution for its fiscal 2014-15 fire assessment. City Attorney, do you need to read anything?
Just to indicate that this is a public hearing, members of the public do have the opportunity to speak to the issue that is addressed by the resolution, which is adoption of the annual fire assessment. That's a program that has been ongoing in nature, but it's approved every year annually by the City Commission. The City Commission has previously adopted a tentative assessment role. This is the final action of the Commission for this fiscal year.
Does anybody in the public wish to address this issue at this time? If you do, you want to come forward, give your name and address for the record, and make your comments in a 3-minute time period. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Guy Benucci, 723 Northeast 9th Avenue, Boynton Beach here. We had the fire assessment to build the fire departments. We've done that. Now you're using that for payment for the employees there. And I think what you did with telling the public that we're going to have it to build the fire departments and then switching it over to start paying the employees was really wrong of the commission to do. I mean, it's great for them, but it's wrong for the citizens. When you initially did that, you should have told us that's what you were doing and not telling us one thing and doing another. So raising the fire assessment, I think, is a wrong thing. And I think you guys need to get your affairs in order as far as the money that you're spending and promising that goes out to certain departments, and put it in order. You got to live within your means. And I think you're going above and beyond that now. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to comment on this? You got to come give your name and address for the record. I can't hear you, so whatever you're saying, I don't hear you.
My name is Joyce Bruck. I happen to live in Ocean Ridge, but I own 4 pieces of property in Leisureville. And so I watch things that are going on, and everything keeps going up, 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 up. And those poor people, I'm going to have to raise their rent, and they're going to be out on their can because they have no other income. So I just like to clarify before I argue this as to what it is, because I didn't understand much about what you were doing.
You need to talk straight into the mic so she can record you.
So okay. What I'm gathering you mean is the line item on the tax assessment that says Boynton Beach Fire Rescue Assessment, and it says $100. Is that what we're addressing, and did it used to be $88?
That's correct, and the ordinance is to raise it by $1 a month or $12 more a year.
What's a buffer?
It was 88. We're talking about raising it to 100.
A month. So you're raising $1 a month.
A month to $12 to make it 100 instead of 88.
And what is that money going to? Fire operations? What is?
Chief, can you address that for us?
Yes, for the record, Ray Carter, I'm your fire chief. That money goes directly for fire suppression activity within the fire rescue department. The money for the fire assessment pays only for fire suppression activities. Buying fire trucks, paying for firefighters, buying equipment to go on fire trucks, that type of stuff.
Okay, someplace in here, excuse me, I haven't done this much before, but I used to be an auditor. Someplace in here it says that the fire department, fire operations are $300. Where I have to go back to check that. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, you didn't hear me, right? There's some line item in here where the fire department gets $300, but I don't know where that is.
Resolution only addresses the fire assessment, which is $100 on residential dwelling units. And just to complement what the chief had just said, the funds that are raised by the fire assessment only account for a little bit less than 49% of the total operating costs of providing fire suppression services. Ma'am, you've got to speak directly into
I
the
said,
microphone.
may I go back and look at this? And I prepared for it, and then I'm kind of confused. But, I'd like to kind of defer, and if I can, if you see me walk out, that means that I give up. But if not, I'd like to address the other line item.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address the board at this issue? Please come forward.
My name is Mark Moretto with A.M. Industries. We own a piece of property at 2225 Southeast 5th Avenue. And I don't know about residentially, but our fee was just under $100, $90. Now it's saying it can go to $620. That's over almost 600%. So that's the notice that I got from the city of Boynton. We were paying before $50 for the first 1,000 square feet and $40 for each additional 1,000 square feet. Now it does not give you, on this notice that we got, a charge per square foot. It just gives you the total sum for what the assessment is proposed to be.
Could you address that?
Well, the only way I can address that, again, is to my knowledge, we have never charged a fire assessment based on tiered square footage. We have always charged a specific amount per square foot for industrial, for warehouse, for institutional, for nursing homes and that. We've always charged based on the square footage of the actual occupancy. We've never done a tiered system that I know of. Not since I've been here anyhow.
I have our bills for the last 6 years and what we got noticed here in this recent. That's what I'm here for.
How many square feet, your commercial establishment?
Correct.
You're not
It's
considered
industrial.
industrial, right?
Correct.
Are you industrial or commercial?
Right, commercial. It's both.
There's a different rate.
Yeah, well, it's listed here. We're listed industrial, but it's got in this new notice split commercial 1,600 square feet and 5,050 square feet is industrial, which is wrong as well. The amount of square footage is wrong as well on the notice, but.
We'll have an opportunity to come to your property, and we can correct that.
Okay.
If I'll give you a card, and you can contact us Monday morning if you'd like.
Sure.
And we'll send somebody out there to take a look and make that correction.
Okay.
All right.
Sir, both the,
how would I still don't understand the dollar based on even your square footage value based on what you were charging last year does not make sense.
I'd have to look at it.
Well, I have it here to look at.
I'm not sure where that would come from because, to my knowledge, we've
Well,
never.
how much was the $8 from last year? You were charging $8 for each additional 1,000 square feet. What is the increase for that this year? If it's $12 residentially, you must have the figure for what it is industrial and commercially.
I have that, Chief. I can give it. Your commercial property currently, before the rate changes occur, you were paying 20 cents per square foot for commercial property. So you had how much commercial square footage? Do you know offhand what your square footage is?
No,
Because you're paying 20 cents?
Yeah, I know we have about 5,700 square feet, of which about 1,600 are offices.
Okay.
But that's not the way your bill has been in the past.
We might have to, definitely talk to you about how the database is showing the breakdown of the property, but the difference is for your commercial square footage is going from 20 cents per square foot to 23 cents per square foot. That's the difference in the, and on the industrial property, if you're considered industrial, you're going to go from
It's the same.
it's 3 cents, 22 to 25.
Okay.
So it's 3 cents per difference per square foot is all
Well,
you
that's
should
fine. It
experience.
just, now it's different than the way your bills have been explained in the past. So
Yeah,
it's no way for us as a consumer to understand, how it's changing if it's listed differently than what you billed in the past.
I have no idea how you got billed that way in the past. If that's for
Property
a
appraisers.
property in Boynton Beach, it should, again, based on based on the way the fire assessment has always been assessed since I've been here for the last 10 years. It's always been on a per square footage basis, and we've not done a tiered system like you just explained. I have no idea how the tax assessor sent you a bill like that.
It's
No
not
idea.
the tax assessor, it's from the City of Boynton Fire Rescue. I'm not talking about a property appraised assessment. I'm talking
Are
about.
you talking about a fire inspection fee? If that's
know.
that could
I
be
mean-
a fire inspection fee, but that has nothing to do with the assessment, the
Your
fire
assessment on your property tax is what you guys are
Right,
addressing?
that's exactly
Okay.
what we're
Yes.
addressing.
Okay.
Is the assessment on your property taxes.
Okay. I
Right.
was not aware of that.
It's not the fire, it's
Okay.
not fire inspection fees.
Okay.
Your business has an annual inspection, a fire inspection.
Okay,
And
so
that's
you're
what-
relating
that's the
to the
bill you're
property.
talking about.
Okay.
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 Thank
You
you.
will, if you want to
Yeah.
share a copy with the chief of your tax bill, Mike, we'll take a look at it, make
I
sure.
don't have a copy of the tax bill. I wasn't aware of, this was put on my desk today and
Okay.
to
Yeah.
see, and
I see what you're
she's
saying.
obviously
Right.
mistaken.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank
Sir,
you.
this would apply to you and really anybody else. The only other explanation for an increase of the nature that you've described, as long as
Expanding.
it's the same total square footage, is if the county property appraiser changed the classification from industrial warehouse to commercial. In other words, went from 5 to 23 cents per square foot.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board at this time? Come forward, give your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Chris Worster. I live at 2101 Southwest 15th Avenue. And my question would be, why isn't it budgeted to take care of these problems already? And maybe you could explain to me why we're paying such an extreme amount more to take care of this problem and it's not addressed in the budget.
It is in the budget. That's why we're raising the budget.
But
Because
why is
when we
there-
did our budget hearings, we looked at that and seen what we needed to keep that going like we were.
Does every city pay an extra amount of money for their fire department?
I don't know what other cities do.
I'm just curious as to why it's so much more for our city to pay for the fire department when it's not. It should be budgeted.
Our bottom line budget is partly paid for by ad valorem taxes, and our bottom line, and our budget is also partly paid for by fire assessment fees that you're talking about now, as well as we also get revenue from transport fees, from fire inspection fees, from fines for alarm systems, things like that that are cause false alarms, and all of that total goes to make up and pay for the fire department budget. Our budget here in Boynton Beach for the fire rescue department, the entire fire rescue department, is just over $21 million. Delray, for example, which is a like-sized fire department, same basic number of employees, approximately the same number of runs per year. Their budget is about $25 million a year. That's a comparison department for department.
Are they also paying a fire fee like we are? or-
I don't know if Delray pays one. I do know there are a considerable number of cities in South Florida that do pay them. Many of them are in excess of $250 to $300 a year.
I guess I was just wondering why it wasn't addressed in the budget and why we're having the extra tax.
We did address it in the budget, but because we're raising it, we have to have a special meeting to do that.
Oh, okay.
But we did bring it up during the budget hearings.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else wish to address the commission this time? Seeing, yes, okay.
Good evening. My name is Lloyd Melanese, and I've got a very brief question. The main question that I'd like to ask, how often do we change the fire trucks?
The fire trucks themselves, the fire apparatus that carry the hose, the water, the ladders, all of that, every 15 years they're replaced. That's in our fleet replacement plan.
So in other words, these
So
trucks run for 15 years before
Their service life is considered to be approximately 15 years.
Because I was wondering if this was one of the causes why we have to change, why we had to tax the taxpayers for this. Because another thing I was wondering, the trucks, if they go for argument's sake on the 95 or wherever they go, couldn't these people that use it more pay towards this instead of taxing everybody for this? Because for what I can see, I've been in Boynton now maybe 30 years, and I've never seen any more taxes. Every day you get a paper from the city, there's taxes increase. There's rental taxes, there's property taxes, and now this one comes up. I got a strip plaza on Boynton, and the increase on it is over $1,000. And I mean, this is pretty hard to us. We cannot kick these tenants out. We cannot put it on their rent, because if we do, we'll be having empty strips. So I'm hoping that the people on the council here would use their discretion, because I had to use my discretion as well for my tenants, which is there for years. I freeze all of them taxes for 5 years. I mean, increase, because I don't want to have an empty shopping center. So I'm hoping that city would use their discretion, and whenever they're going to put an increase on the people, they should take these things into consideration. We don't want to have the all of Boynton strip plaza empty, 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 empty. And these are the main things, because if I, as a small person, can freeze all my tenant taxes, I think the city should be able to look elsewhere than to increase. Every time there's taxes, taxes, taxes. It makes you sick. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll just add that our employees went for like 4 years. All the employees went for 4 years without a pay increase, and we did that so we wouldn't have to raise taxes. They all did not get a pay raise for over 4 years, all citywide employees. So we were trying to keep the down so we wouldn't have to raise taxes to pay them. But at some point, you need to think about them. Anyone else wish to address the commission? Seeing none, I'll return to commission for a motion.
So moved.
So move what? You had to make a motion.
That we change from $88 to $100.
The appropriate motion would be to approve Resolution R14085.
A motion to approve
So moved.
Resolution 14085. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Board Member McCray.
Thank you, Commissioner McCray. Hi, the
McCray.
reason I'm going to discuss this tonight is that when the fire assessment was first brought to the city of Boynton, I was elected as a commissioner then. I voted in favor of this, and I stated to them, I said, the citizens, if you all are not careful, this is going to be a tax that you are going to get stuck with for the rest of your life. I was also sitting when it's supposed to have been sunset in 7 years, which it was not done. And I told the citizens, I said, you know what? This is going to be a tax that you are going to have to continue to pay unless somebody step up and says something about it. We need to also discuss tonight that there is a hardship case here for the city of Boynton, because I see some members of my district that are sitting here who probably cannot afford this. And we need to discuss the hardship so that they know who should they contact in regards to their fire assessment at this time.
Yes, we do have a hardship position, right?
Yeah,
Good
okay.
evening.
Mayor.
Here you go. You address it. Then we'll come to you.
Tim Howard, Director of Finance.
They can't hear you. They need to hear
Tim
you.
Howard, Director of Finance.
Can y'all hear him? They said no.
We do have a hardship application. It's available in my office. It'll be available online on the website. Hard copies will be available in the City Hall, library, and we'll advertise it on social media. The notices will go out end of this week, first of next week, and the deadline will be October 20th. We'll mail out the forms to you. You follow the forms to submit the application back, and we'll let you know if it's approved. We did 30 of them last year, and we have a mobile home vacancy credit also that's available.
All right. If any of you all have a hardship case, see him after this
Just
meeting
see me.
and get his phone number so he can tell you all what to do, okay?
And we'll get
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yes, Commissioner Merker.
Okay. One of the gentlemen said, using reference to us from the past, I'm not on the commission when this was initially initiated. I'm going by the heartbeat of people who have called me, and it's been overwhelming that the fire department, the emergency department, is that important to the city, and it must be maintained in a way that, God forbid, something happen. It's easy to not want an increase, and I'm no different than anyone else. But when you look at the fire department and what they do, what it encompasses, the different areas, and unfortunately sometimes even the false calls that come out, this department, without the fire department, where we, all of us, in every district, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are in deep trouble. This amount of money from $88 to $100 is $12 per year, not per month. So to me, I look at it as an essential benefit for the safety and the well-being of the citizens of this city.
Okay, I have a motion on proposed resolution R14-085. I had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Show the motion passes 3-1. Is there any other business come before this commission? Don't believe so. We stand adjourned.